Hey guys, long time no stream. It's been like I think like it was like a week from my last stream session. I'm exhausted. It's Friday. I figured I'll do some sketching and stream it while I go. And yeah, I got a new microphone because previous streams had a little bit of issues, some issues with audio. So now I'm testing this fancy new Sennheiser. Sorry for tapping it. And I figured I'll just do some lazy monster sketching. I'm just gonna grab this Ryan Kingsling Anatomy skeleton model. Monsters are a lot scarier when they have skulls on them, so we'll just use this as our skeleton. It's pretty low poly, but we'll be dynameshing it anyway. So hopefully the audio is good. I'm gonna ask my friends um, to test this. Streaming some ZBrush, new mic. While I'm at it, let me post it in some art groups. The stream's bitrate is currently lower than recommended bitrate. Let's see if I can adjust this bitrate thingy. I got a new mic and a new streamer app, so I'm all pro now. And I have no idea where to change the bitrate. Weird. It says it's pretty high. Alrighty, let's do some sculpting, shall we? So, gonna grab this subtool, copy paste it. So one thing I like about this particular mesh is that there's separate pieces, so I'm just gonna do auto groups, and we're gonna do mirror and weld. This way it's all symmetrical. And now we have the polygroups from the original thing, but we're gonna do something like maybe inflate it. That looks funny, but bear with me. I'm just trying to create some kind of a shape. In fact, let's preserve the original and let's have fun with this one. Let me get some music going. You guys aren't gonna hear it because then I'm gonna get sued for music rights. So play your own. Alrighty. This mesh is too big, so I unified it so I don't have to worry about the brush increment. So with mask by polygroups on, I can still adjust the individual piece, and maybe using snake hook we can play with the shapes like this. I have no idea what I'm doing, like no idea what kind of character monster it's gonna be. We're probably gonna need to dynamesh it. So you can see I've lost all my polygroups when I dynameshed it, and I recently did a video on this. The trick here is to disable colorize before you dynamesh. This way the ZBrush will pay attention to the polygroups and not polypaint. Now let's repeat this, and you can see the polygroups remained. I'm confused that it's telling me that my bitrate is low. Alright, I'll just ignore it for now. If it's a problem, we're gonna fix it next time. Uh-oh, what's going on? I used the standard brush and it just kinda made everything go away. That was weird. What the hell is going on with the star? So this was like a happy accident, but I kind of like this weird nasal shape here with some strange looking teeth. Alright, so there's the weird issue that I still gotta gotta answer this. Alrighty, I'm back. What's funny is that I'm much better at sculpting when I'm not thinking or not having to talk about what I'm doing, because while I was on the phone, it was much easier to just sculpt. That's a weird looking thing. Very weird looking thing. I have no idea what's going on with that face. I like the rib cage. The rib cage is cool. I don't like this that we have in this inner parts, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get rid of it. In a fancy way. So I'm just doing a lot of hide and not not even masking, just hiding faces that I don't want. That's probably the easier way to clean something like this up. Alright, let's see how it looks. Neck needs some. Anyway, I feel like I was talking about something, so delete this, redynamesh. What I was talking about. Oh yeah, so yeah, I did a video on colorize and how it affects polygroups. Check it out on the channel if you haven't seen it. It's pretty cool. Delete hidden, redyna. There you go, quick fix. Yeah, and the weird thing that I'm noticing is when I'm using mask by polygroups and the brush size is too small, it ends up doing this, which is a rather strange thing. Maybe if dynamic goes off? No. Basically can't have it at like 1. But thankfully we don't really need it at this slow. It's just every once in a while I have the brush set to something super small and I enable mask polygroups and it confuses the hell out of me. So with snake hook, let's see if we can have more interesting proportions. I'm trying to move things around and things aren't moving. I don't know why. No idea. Oh, as I figured out how the save kicks in. Another funny thing is that whenever I'm streaming live, usually once a stream there is a weird issue I encounter that I never had before, and I have to embarrass myself live trying to figure it out. And then it just goes away. Yeah, I think my focal shift was set to the max. That's why. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. So if your focal shift is set to the max, it wasn't doing anything. But then I gloriously figure things out, and I look cool, and it's amazing. Got a mean vibes, this guy. It's damn standard. Let's. Oh, I know what would be cool. Something like this. Some like weird scrotum head. Mr. Scrotum Head. That's his name. Sure looks like one. Um, when concepting, it's nice to have a knowledge of what your lights are doing. So it's yeah, that's pretty cool. Another thing, I'm gonna do like a video on all these different tricks I use, but smooth groups is amazing. Look at that. So when designing characters, I usually start with the head, because head has a lot of character to it, and it really helps to nail down what's going on with the head. That kind of dictates the rest of the body proportions and design language. And I'm being told that the audio is working great. That's great. I need to adjust my autosave frequency, because I feel like half of my streams is just the autosave screen. Time to live on the edge a little. Um, yeah, let's do that. Nobody wants to see the autosave in progress. Also, I have a big sculpt in this, some other sculpt that I have in this project that's massive. Um, oh, I wanted to try something. So there's this option that they've added recently called load tools from project. I wonder if I can just load a specific um, just one subtool from an autosave. Let's try that. I have no idea how it works, so I might be up for a disappointment. Why did I press autosave? It just saved. I'll do the dance moves while we wait. Entertainment. There we go. Okay, so let's go project. Let's grab a clean. I like clicking on the dice primitive project because it's like so low poly. It opens up right away, and then you get nice dice. Oh, where's that autosave folder? God damn it. Z autosave. What is it called? Quick save. By the way, there's like this nice little piece of software called Search Everything. It's great. Try it. So I'm just gonna search for ZPR. Date modified. This is our latest one. Copy path. Didn't copy. Where did you go? Did I not? Where did I see the copy path command? Let's open path. Oh, I did open path on my other screen. It's Friday. I don't know what I'm doing. I am. Oh, it's gonna load all of the tools, isn't it? I'm not sure what's the point of this command. If it just loads the tools. I guess if you messed up your render settings and you wanna just get the geometry from some project and not bring over any other options, that's what you do. I usually just reset my render settings. Yeah, this is not cool. Alright, so first of all, preferences. Quick save. $20. Living on the edge. Save this subtool. Alright, now it will be blazing fast, and we can get to sculpting. So having polygroups is nice, because I can mask by polygroups, turn it on, and really design basically forms itself. I don't like anything about the kind of like a skeleton, like arms and the limbs right now. I feel basically I haven't changed them, right? So, but I also don't want any of these kind of landmarks being so freaking obvious. So, with smooth, stronger on, enable Z-Sculpt. No, what is it called? Sculptress Pro. And let's smooth it the way out. What's important is that it's keeping the polygroups, so I can bring it back where I want it to be. With inflate, which I don't have anymore, I replaced it with something else. I guess with Markat. That's a mistake. Let's bring the inflate back. I have, like, I'm just gonna get rid of it actually. We'll work on a gesture as we go. So this is kind of like a very, like once the sculptress got introduced, a lot of people block their things out like this way. It's just sculptress and sculpting, and it's a fine method, but I don't like it because it's very, like, I feel like at least for me, I end up doing a lot more cleanup this way. I'm gonna do my old trusty grandfather method of Z sketching. Hopefully it works this time around, because last time I tried it on a stream, it didn't work because reasons. So let's try it again. Scale this. Get it out of the way. Z sketch. Edit this Z sketch. Withdraw on. There we go. So one thing I can say enabled polygroups. You can see every time I put a stroke down, it creates a new polygroup, and you gotta be very mindful of that because you can use that to your advantage. So just really thinking about the gesture of this guy. But you can see it's essentially same thing as doing it with Sculptress, but you end up having more control. All of your shapes are going to be cylindrical because the sketch is cylindrical by its nature. And you also get free polygroups. Free polygroups are great. There's a lot of like I think Bad King has a lot of monster brushes that are fun to use as the starting point. I might just get lazy and use some of those here, but for now I'm just trying to generate the idea first. So that's kind of cool. I like the crown made with weird horns. Another thing you can do with this thing, if you set the color to black, fill object, and then set this to white, you can literally like do drawing in ink on top of the mesh. And when I'm sketching, this is essentially what I see, the silhouette. But it's easier, like it's more handy for me to see the polygroups right now in the actual form. I'm ignoring the spherical bubbliness of this. I'm just generating some random noise here. And it being, each stroke being a separate polygroup, it's gonna be great. I'm getting this issue again, and I'm having it every time I stream. It's like the stroke goes under. Gonna play with my embed. There we go. So that's pretty cool. And we're gonna merge them together and just dynamesh it after. Once again, thinking about gesture. Trying to decide where his hands start and where the palms, the wrist and elbows are, because with the monster it can go either way. Something like this probably good. High quality tea drinking sounds. Alrighty. So he would have 3 fingers, guys. This would be like 1 piggy, 2 piggy, 3 piggy. That's how I see it. The only issue, of course, is that these are really thick. Can you sketch? Oh yeah, look at that. You can scale them down. And even this, like you can see, I'm giving it a little bit of a gesture. There you go. You can see with colorize on, no polygroups, colorize off, polygroups are on. I'm so happy I found out this. Rotating a lot whenever I'm on a client call or on a call with coworkers and I'm just spinning the hell out of my camera and they don't know what's up, what's happening. They think I have a seizure, but I'm just used to sculpting in ZBrush. There we go, something like this. Okay, let's give this feller some cool knees. I love Z sketching. So a natural tendency is, you know, hey, we're gonna draw a foot like this. But what I'm actually gonna do, because it's gonna be easier to just draw it like down. We can always fold it up after, but this way it's just gonna be easier. And I also like this kind of a gesture. It's like he's tippy toeing. I know, feels more graceful to me. So, person A, pretty cool. Obviously the crotch area is a little bit messy. Actually, okay, so what's going on here? Oh, okay, it's the reason it's like this is because these two guys are merging. Let's give it some weight in the crotch area, so it feels like there's something. That's probably a little bit too much. The monster is getting too sexy. The gesture of the upper leg is bad, and I should feel bad. Should it be maybe? I wonder if rotate. It doesn't do anything. I don't know if I like the whole horse hind legs type of a. It is cool to just use ZSketch to kind of move things around and prototype it. That's a pretty cool shape. This kind of a ribbed leg. Keep in mind we can also alt draw to erase. Increase embed a bit. Haven't done any research or not using any reference. This is just a random sketch, so there's a little bit of a trial and error here. Yeah, not quite sure what to do with legs. I'll just keep them like this, and then we'll steal some legs from some other artist, because you know, stealing is great. We'll do the insert brush and then sculpt on top or something. Alrighty. Yeah, this is get in there. This is a first step. So, unified skin, make unified mesh, hide this. You can see it created a skin. Make sure there's polygroups here. Switch back. Append. Technically we don't need this sphere anymore, but I'll just keep it for a bit. Alright, so what we can do here, or what can we do here? Because the thing was pretty low res, you see we lost some of that definition, but that's fine. Everything's fine. Or maybe it's not fine. Let's see if we can get a better mesh. So, in unified mesh, whenever I enable preview, let's do 500. Look at that. What does polish surface do? Polishes it, which is... yeah, I like this better. Sphere's density, what's that? Fun fact, if you press and hold control and hover over anything in ZBrush, there's help for it. Like, literally everything. Well, 95% of things. Density of the next skin created with the make. You know what, I'm happy with the way my density is. Thank you. Delete this, open the new one. Much better. So I like working this way with scene polygroups. Kind of gives me a nice shape separation. Alright, forgot to enable symmetry, so I'm gonna press X and then mirror and weld. Not sure what I'm doing here. Maybe these could be eyes. No, this guy don't need eyes. So we can do smooth groups. And this way we... smooth groups is like the best freaking brush there is. Really helps you refine the shape. I'll just merge these two together. Merge down. Especially early on, it helps to have as few subtools as possible, just so you can design without having to worry about switching subtools and stuff. He's got this like a dolphin face to it, which is rather odd for a monster. Ooh, I know. One sec. Okay. We are gonna give him like a weird, massive, honking teeth like this. And this way he'll be less like a dolphin. Something like this. And then with a clay brush, let's experiment here. And the way I'm sculpting right now is very like organic. I'm just grabbing pieces, mush them together. It's not clean at all. One thing that I want to try, maybe tomorrow or in a few days, uh, attempting to design without attempting designing by carefully planning my shapes first, sort of the way I'm doing here. I know that I want some sort of a kind of a skull type of a zygomatic bone sticking out. So instead of just arbitrarily mushing my clay brush, I'm masking it, and I'm using move to work that form in. I think there's a benefit in this kind of approach for to sculpting, because you're actually thinking about the forms you're creating. You can see. And then the next thing is, oh damn, what did I do to my polygroups? Let's see. I hate losing polygroups. Every time like the colorize gets enabled, then I dynamesh and then I lose my shit. So let's just duplicate this, go back here, we go to the last known polygroup location. And once again, like, check out that video on polygroups. This happens to me all the time, and then I lose my polygroups and I become a sad man. So just because, did I press duplicate? What's gonna, oh no, nothing. So just because I love my polygroups, like, there's so many cool different shapes you can generate out of these. I'm gonna do drumroll, polypaint from Polygroups. So now we have these. We're gonna go back to my new one. We're gonna go to project, just color, boop. I had to do the poop. Mac is asking, this is a pretty freaky design. You working from reference, or is this off the dome? I'm afraid it is off the dome. I'm just doodling and seeing what happens. Typically I would work from a reference, but this is Friday, and I find it liberating to just sketch random things and explore without having like a mood board the size of Oklahoma. I don't know if Oklahoma is big or not. Alright, so we projected these. Ain't that great? And next step is, we don't want color. Well, actually, yeah, screw colorize. So what I'm gonna do, polygroups from polypaint, larger number, more groups. Maybe we want more groups. Let's see. Setting it to 1 in hindsight is probably not a good idea because it'll take more time, but it actually happened pretty fast. You can see we got most of our polygroups back, and that's all I need in life, so that's how you transfer polygroups from one object to another. And the extra bits and pieces are fine. We can do merge similar groups or merge stray groups. Didn't seem to do much. Oh well. Alrighty. So I was talking about using masking. In fact, since I talked about it, let's talk about this. So I created a lot of noise with this whole shenanigan, and when doing art, whether it's painting or sculpting, creating noise is great because it gets your imagination going, but you gotta have structure. Otherwise, without a structure, you just get a bunch of mess, noodly nonsense. And I feel like when I'm using mask, I'm very structural with my decisions, how I'm creating shapes. So that's what it's all about. So I masked out these three guys here, and let's grab a move. You literally can sculpt anything with just a mask and a move brush. How crazy is that? Like, and if you think you can't, you just haven't gotten good at it yet. The sky is the limit. So Mac, I have some bad news for you. I have no idea where it's headed, and that's the beauty of it. Uh, Mac is wondering. Oh, you can probably read the chat. I think I have that feature enabled. He's wondering where the design is heading. It's heading nowhere. Yeah. So this last thing wasn't great. It was a fun little exploration, but maybe it was too much. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Definitely like a little bit of a bump there. So you can clean up stuff like this by just growing the selection. The default grow selection key is like Control Shift X or something. I just have Control Numpad Plus, and I have the same shortcut in Blender, so it's handy to sometimes match your shortcuts between different applications. Control W to group visible. Once again, love my smooth groups. Alright, so with the head, more or less, we have something here. It's weird, but that's what we're getting tonight. Let's worry about the body now. But before we worry about the body, I'm just gonna do. Ooh, I know. It's gotta be like this. It's like weird antlers. He's like some evil alien mastermind. He better be a mastermind with a giant head like this. Maybe so. This kind of a profile. How do I do this? I don't know if you guys gonna see this. I'm using my screen grabbing application to do a quick drawing over. I won't be able to tell for next few minutes because the stream is delayed. I don't think it's working. But basically the silhouette of this is very kind of cliche. Oh, I think you guys can actually see it. So even though it looks weird and freaky and sort of cool, in these early stages, it's fun to just completely flip it on its head. And look at that. That's interesting. I really like this weird nostril. And then we inverse the mask, and then we maybe And back to the whole idea of using mask and move to create this structure. Um, like you wouldn't be able to just experiment like this the way I am right now with just like a clay build up and trim dynamic. Uh, move is great, and masking is essential. So yeah, like I really like this. It's different. It's less cliche. And then we can maybe grab. Actually, tonight we're just gonna use mask and move. That's the theme of the night. We're just gonna do line like this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You guys wanna see something cool? So you paint a mask and then you grab a lasso and then you do like just a weird shape to break it up. I know I'm showing off, but I love doing this. Okay, so doop, doo, 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 doo. So now we have this line. We can blur it. Control click on the mask part to blur things. Back to trusty move. And we're gonna and you know I'm not gonna beat the dead horse. We're adding some structure here. I'm getting Doom vibes, you know, the new Doom 2016 new. God, I gotta play the new one. The what is it called? The one that came after. The backlog of games keeps growing. I'm like somewhere 2017 now, and it's 3 years later. New games are coming out, and I'm behind. So things I like about this. I like the giant buck teeth. Buck teeth are great. I like the weird nostril. Maybe it's too narrow. Let's see if we can make it more exciting. There we go. And now that we have this little shape, we can add a little bit of an extra double nostril. What I don't like is just like kind of how this part is hanging, and these like this hole here, it looks like eyeballs, which in a way it is, because you know this was based on a skeleton originally. Let's fill this. And now there we go, goggly eyes. Ain't he beautiful? That was obviously a joke. Sorry, dry Russian delivery. So that's cool. That's cool. Let's press BPR. Not like it's gonna do anything with this kind of lighting condition, but so well, we're heading somewhere. Itchy nose. Back to smooth, stronger. And clay is like an amazing brush to just fill a form. So I'm gonna simplify this. I'm gonna use select lasso to hide that and just kind of focus on this silhouette. Ah, sorry, itchy nose. Ah. So let's just mask and move this to make it more like a singular shape. She's got a fish head. Look, it's like this is a fin. This is like the shark's nose, and these are the gills. That's literally what it is. And you know, don't tell anyone I told you this. It's a secret. Yeah, we'll call him Shark Face, even though it doesn't look like a shark. So the reason I don't like this part, like if you squint at this guy, uh, there's a giant shadow under these cheekbones, and it feels like, it feels like he's got something on his face. So we're gonna resolve that by increasing the size of the cheekbones. Ooh, you see where I'm going? Ain't that cool? And then we're gonna do the same. Now suddenly it's less Doom and more Final Fantasy, which I guess is a good thing. I mean, the designs in Final Fantasy series, especially like in cartoons and the stuff that has more than 4 polygons, always were pretty cool. And there's some Pixelogic streams where guys from Square Enix doing some breakdowns. It's always fascinating to see. So, definitely like that. Just maybe undo a little because I lost some cool form. So this was cool. Back to masking. So when designing things big, medium, small, you probably heard this a lot. You wanna have big shapes, medium shapes, small shapes, all sorts of shapes. And so right now here I have a big one, another big one, another big one, and another big one. And the saddest part is they're all approximately the same size. So if you like squint at them, each one of these, like they're not very well divided. So what you're gonna do is divide them further, so we have a variety. I'm all about variety of shape sizes. And you can see just adding this little transition piece makes it feel a little bit more interesting. Once again, I find a line that I want to exaggerate, and then I'm exaggerating it. That's a new word, just made it up. That's his eyelids, that's how he's flapping them. Blink. If you're looking at the side profile, it's a little bit more interesting. So, however, parts that I don't like, once again, this shape and this shape, approximately same height. So let's see if we can differentiate it a bit. Maybe he's got some sort of like, this is starting to look like the guy has Oakleys. Demonic Oakleys from hell. Yeah, that's his visor. Can't help myself, I'm just going sci-fi with this. Gonna smooth it for now and deal with it later. One thing I liked about this before I smooth it the hell up is and it's fun to, if you see something that could be a cool detail but you haven't gotten there yet, and you know you're not working on details yet, sometimes I forget what I wanted to do, so I learned to just enable sculptors and just like, I like this here, little like weird membrane type of, and it's not perfect, but now I won't forget. Sort of like a weird, like maybe World of Warcraft type of a skeleton king. I don't know. I don't know where this is all going. I'm gonna end up with a Disney princess. I might not. I think I am. Trim dynamic is great for breaking shapes up like this. And you know, I went on this ramble about how I like those shapes, and then I took and completely destroyed them. And I kind of like this better. I don't know what's going on, but I'm having fun. So in cases like this, like I'm stuck doing this head here, and I'm trying to figure out the shape language, obviously. And especially me, I have this bad habit of just focusing on one thing, and it's like, no, I must finish it. This gotta be perfect before I move on. And that's something that I'm working on improving. So if you don't know what to do with the face, just work on the butt, and this way you're gonna learn something about this character in the process of working on the other part. That's gonna make the head much easier to handle. So we're just gonna move on, because we don't care. So, where did my back go? I thought I had a back. I guess not. I'm severely confuzzled. Alright, well, we'll make our own. So, mask pan. This weird freaking geometry piece, go away. There we go. Zooming out, so I'm focusing on the big shapes, similar how you would zoom out when you paint. And like this kind of approach, doing it from scratch, takes much longer than if I used some insert meshes. But it's nice to do every once in a while, just when there's nowhere to rush. Just kind of slow yourself down and do something from scratch. It's fun. I'm not using an anatomy reference either. This is just like a very basic anatomical approximation from memory. Alright, you guys like demon butts? Because we're gonna sculpt one. Gluteus maximus. Or a butt from hell. Should have named the stream a bunch of butt jokes and ZBrush. Inflating butt. So hands and arms are bad because they get in the way. So this is what we're gonna do. And now I can see the silhouette much clearer. Move in infinite could be handy here. So I'm like, what it does, it ray casts through the geometry, and you can modify the silhouette much easier here this way. Another thing like I don't do this often. Diablo, pretty Diablo looking. Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right. It's been so long since I played Diablo. Like I have it on Switch. I should make it my before bed type of a game. Don't remember what my grief with Diablo 3 was. That I suck at it, probably. What I was saying. I got distracted with Diablo. So, silhouette, silhouette, silhouette. Oh, yeah, 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 I remember what I was saying. Um, so a lot of times when doing like a model for production, uh, you do like just a T pose or this generic basic pose that's good for rigging, uh, which is great. But since this is not for Diablo 4 or Diablo 5, or this is just for fun. So let's have fun with it. And when it comes to fun poses, obviously I'm not gonna break symmetry just yet, but we can do better here. Like maybe some cool demonic. I'm actually thinking Zach Patrick, or I think either Zach or Madeline Spencer did this nice very old ZBrush render. I'm gonna try to find it. Diablo 4 was the good for a while. So, yeah, the cinematics. That's the thing. Cinematics of any Blizzard cinematic excites me so much more than the actual game. Uh, I used to love the original StarCraft and the StarCraft Brood Wars and all that, and when the first cinematics of the second, is it second StarCraft? Yeah, StarCraft 2 is the last one. Um, when cinematics came out with Vitaly Bulgarov freaking tanks and explosions and everything, it was just blowing my mind off. Like it was some next level shit. And then I played the game, and it was just like after playing. I think I was in my Warhammer Dawn of War stage, rigging Warhammer, like playing Warhammer, and after that, being trying to get back into StarCraft, it was very it was like I think I outlived my um, StarCraft days, I guess. Yeah, like every time I see the World of Warcraft cinematic, I'm like, oh my god! And then I remember that it's not my kind of a game. Same with like League of Legends. League of Legends trailers are freaking phenomenal, and the game is just Dota stuff. Um, what I was looking for? Zach Petrock. I think Zach Petrock is his name. Zach Petrock always does these super nice static poses for his well, he's like a traditional sculptor, so like look at this freaking gesture. It's so great. It's neutral. You can rig it, uh, but it's exciting. or even this, like it's not just a straight T-pose, it's natural how the character would stand. Let's see if they can find the girl I'm thinking of. I think he did that too. Yeah, it's probably this one. Either way, this is probably the only reference I'll use. Sorry for my disgusting hiccups. Um, yeah. So let's look at the pose. Um, oh, so good. I think I took a class with him back in the day. Yeah, it really, like I'm talking like 2012 or something. And it was very good stuff, especially like for this kind of poses. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this on my other screen and match it. Um, More specifically, um, the legs, just having them like this gives the character a more natural, more kind of a dominant position. Like, I gave him a confidence boost. It's not just a pose boost. And let me tell you, demons need confidence. If you're a demon without confidence, then you chose the wrong job. You know, confidence is half of the game in the demon industry. I have no idea what I'm saying. Alright, so that's literally probably all I needed here. Just continue refining this gesture. Well, we're gonna get rid of this blobby balls shapes, but for now we're still rolling with it. So yeah, I'm masking the parts that I want to modify and using move brush. Nothing crazy. Hey, what if he had like, maybe he's like swimmer. Look, no, bad idea. One of these days I'm gonna sculpt a character in a day and then I'm gonna 3D print him right away. Instead of the typical scenario where I spend like weeks and months polishing the details and then I realize that they're invisible on the print. What's going on with these guys? When in doubt, polish. Alright, flatten. If you've been on my stream before, you know how I feel about flatten. Flatten is like a better band than trim dynamic. And like, we're already pretty much there. I mean, hands are still blobby. But if I were to throw this in Keyshot or something, render it, and just I can draw on top or paint on top, and it would be fairly easy to turn this into something. But because it's a ZBrush stream, we'll continue with ZBrush, so stay tuned for more. Should he have, or she, claws? That's a rhetorical question. Just doing a little gesture here. So you can see, looking at it from this angle, my thumb is not sticking out enough. If you look at your hand, the thumb would be more out. There you go. My mesh is too dense. Yeah, no. But yeah, because I have this underlying cylindrical, spherical Z-sketch structure, it's a lot easier to turn it into something rather than if I had just a snake hook and sculptors. But that being said, this is a matter of preference and what you're used to. Maybe I can do no transposes. I find a lot easier for me for organic stuff. So hand is a structure with three kind of a joints there, and just gotta make sure that it's got a little bit of an arc. You know, we're talking about a gesture here, so I'm going for this kind of a claw shape. Nothing really to it. So we don't want that bubble shape. Not a good look for a demon. How long has this stream been going? Like, so we got an hour and a half in, so we got kind of the design roughed in. Now I spent more time drinking tea and talking about. I don't remember what I was talking about. Random things. But we're in no rush. The night is young. It might be time to redynamesh soon. Let's see if I can. So another like little experiment. I was thinking about it another day. Wouldn't be a cool look whenever you deflate something? It kind of creates this super weird edges. Obviously this is not usable, but if I took something like this, deflated it, and then redynameshed it, what would that look like? So let's try that. Let's create a nice shapes here. And I might be crazy, you know, with that whole thing, but I had a hunch that maybe it'll be something cool. I'll even do something crazy like this. Smooth, deflate, and redynamesh. Sorry, I'm hitting the mic again. That was an accident. Not bad. This thing, I don't know what it's called, can be very handy when judging the silhouette. But I think once, like, if you've been doing ZBrush for some time, after a while you kind of get used to seeing a silhouette in the actual model, and I don't really use it much unless I kind of need a proofread. You can see, so like this started as a skeletal shape, and then, you know, I moved it around, and now it's kind of looking like this weird rocky surface, which is cool. Mirror and weld. This kind of a straight line is kind of a cliche form, but that's the best I have right now. Let's keep this PG-13. So, because we have like the shape locked in, sorta, maybe let's do a quick keyshot render. When I get tired of sculpting, it's always fun to plop something in keyshot and take a look at it in a different lighting, with different materials. Commencing the plopping. And I'll probably do a stream or tutorial on just keyshot at some point. Hopefully the stream is gonna be fine with this. Yeah, you should see keyshot by now. So, one thing about keyshot, the target audience of high CPU usage detected. No shit. Let's switch to GPU. The thing about keyshot is that it is meant for architectural kind of visualization, and by default a lot of architectural stuff or product renders are very low contrast. Like, you don't want harsh shadows on your cookies or whatever the product is. So what I like to do is go into the environment, crank the hell out of this contrast. Bam. So obviously, like, you wouldn't do something like this for a final render, or like you tone it down a bit. But just, you know, going from not knowing where the light is coming from to bam, knowing where the light is coming from. That's huge. When I found a contrast slider, it was a happy day. So let's just make it dark so I don't get distracted. I like the head. The shoulders feel kind of narrow. Chest needs work. Well, everything needs work. This is obviously a very rough sketch. But overall proportions are kind of cool. He's got nice thighs. Sexy thighs on a demon. Always a good thing. Contrast on HDRI is a cool tip. You're welcome, Patrick. Yeah, and like I like once the you kind of plop in a basic HDRI, you can go to HDRI editor, add a pin, set the brightness to something ridiculous, and color so you can actually see it. Let's do rectangle, and with set highlight on, you just click on the area where you want the highlight. Some rim, some red rim, demonic red rim. Yeah, that's good stuff. Sorry, I got a little bit excited there. Or like something like this is kind of like a stylized anime lighting right there. Oh yes. Sorry, I'm way too excited about the rim. I mean, this looks like a monster to me, right? Yeah, we're on the right track, I think. So, yeah, thighs need work. Feet are ginormous. Same with hands, probably. But yeah, let's get back to sculpting. Yeah, I'll pause it. Keep it in the background. Alright, with this information, now that we know the issues and downfalls, let's continue, shall we? And like looking at this, this would be a continuation of our ribs. So if you look at like anatomy figure, mine is too far away. So there would be like this kind of a shape, and this would kind of be like my pectoralis major, and this was my sternum. Holy crap! I remember all these words. So I'm using the real world analogs to help me kind of differentiate where's what. Maybe we'll give him some cloth after. To cover his butt. The back has obviously not been worked on. Another cool thing would be to create like a brush and just use a stamp to generate repeated patterns. Oh, that would be so much fun. But we'll do it next stream. That's like yeah, that's like a spoiler for the next episode of Sculpting Butts with Alex. So I'm really not digging this little crevice. It's weird. There's like there's a brush that just feels like specifically created for this, but I like clay. And we can redynamish to get rid of the internal stuff. So, oh. You know what? I forgot to tell you. So, when in the early stages of sculpting, I disable my tablet pressure, tablet sensitivity. I disable everything, and you know why? This way my brush is a lot more like the size is consistent, so I can adjust the size easier, and I don't have to worry about um, it being all over the place. And this way I don't have to press really hard on my tablet to get the maximum pressure, which helps if you don't want a carpal tunnel syndrome. But once it comes to like detailing, especially skin detailing, there's a lot of like a smooth curves, or like when you create wrinkles, you want like one wrinkle to kind of blend into another, and do this, do that. So like I was trying to draw. Man, it really helps to do some exercises. My wrists feel amazing. Um, so I was drawing some like wrinkle lines, and they were way too like rigid. Now I'm just gonna go back, enable tablet, and with this on, you can see it blends in much better. So, but I'm getting sidetracked. It's not even detail time yet, and I'm already doing it. So, with armpits like this, just smooth the hell out. Use snake hook to pull it up. What if that's kind of cool. So I'm masking the bottom edge. This is of this mask, because this is where his rib cage connects to his. Well, that's where his rib cage ends. And with this masked, grabbing a move and really refining like this is the big shape of the rib cage. Looking at it in profile, silhouette is like such a like you wanna have silhouette even in the areas where you wouldn't think you need silhouette. You always gotta have some silhouette. So there's lines here that go like this, lines that go like this. Guess we'll have something like that, and then maybe like a weird crisscrossing. I don't know. Just kind of trying to block in the big shapes here. He looks like a weird Power Rangers villain or something from like a Guyver anime. Maybe it's a biosuit. I should just shut up and sculpt. So, what did I do? Where's my... There we go. No. Oh, that's weird. I had... you can see I can't sculpt here. It's because that part was masked, but I didn't see the mask. That's some weird GPU related glitch. Maybe I should kill that key shot opened in the background. So I'm mimicking human deltoid shape here. It's not connecting where like normally the deltoid would be sort of like this, but I'm kind of moving it back because I need something here. The fun thing with this whole, anatomy and mimicking shapes, I was watching some, don't remember where I've seen it, but like some artist was basically taking, it was like a SIGGRAPH white paper on drawing like quick doodles and then automatic 3D algorithm turning them into 3D models. I was watching it, and those doodles were like super childish, and the models looked like a kid's drawing of like a dragon. But because it was like so anatomically incorrect and like not realistic in any, like not even remotely realistic even in terms of perspective or symmetry, it was a lot of fun to just look at them. They look so goofy and fun. And I was like, crap, I wish I could disconnect from like and thinking about anatomy all the time so I could draw something like this. Just for fun. I'm gonna see if I can find that link so I can show it on a stream. Who did I send it to? Who did I send it to? God damn it. Don't remember. So many links, so little time. It's probably not important. If you wanna link to the thing I'm talking about, just leave it in the comments below. And also like and subscribe. That's how you do it, right? For more monster butts, follow me on OnlyFans. I don't have OnlyFans. But hey, if there's a demand. So you can see I'm kind of just organically, like this is starting to become very detailed because I'm looking at this shape and I know exactly what I kind of want to have here. And I'm over rendering it because like the rest of the form, like you can see tessellation there, but it's fine. We can, like, as long as there is something in place, we can always preserve that detail or reproject it or do some weird ZBrush shit to use it later. It's not gonna go to waste. So I'm giving him this little six pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 pack. 4 pack is enough. And then with inflate, just inflating the lower side so it has a little bit of a gravity. Yeah, thought it was kind of cool. And the thing with like the designs like this, the organic, demonic, weird stuff, I can spend like I can just like sit here and just detail his tooth all day like that. So you kind of like for me myself, I have to keep myself in check. Ooh, I know. So I'm gonna kill Keyshot. The performance is bad. Well, we're not gonna worry about the render for now. But damn, this looks kind of cool. I like the red rim. So red rim, red room, shining. Gonna save this, and so next time I want to render this, I have this as a starting point because I like it. There's something to it. Demon. Yeah, that's descriptive. After a while, you just have entire hard drive with sketches named Demon and Robot, and you have no idea which one is which. Sometimes it's a demon robot, if you're lucky. Alright, what I was gonna do? Oh, I was gonna do this. I feel like Dynamesh kinda killed some details, but there's not much to it. I don't think there was much to it. We're gonna give him this thing so he can pierce it. There we go. Alright, so this entire area needs to have something in it, because right now it looks like a big empty space, if you know what I mean. I hope you don't. So let's just fill it. Oh man, I just realized that I'm starving, but I want to keep sculpting. That's a dilemma. So we have this like super big blobby shape with like very obvious, very deep garages that left by them standard, but just taking clay with tablet on and just gently like tapping this area. I can turn it into something that actually has skin over it. Knees are too large. Another thing, flatten is fantastic. I'll do a separate video on flatten, but we're almost at 2 hours here, so I think I might stop for the night and go eat something. Food is good. So like I got 3 more minutes in me, and in that time I will refine some hands. And this way, all parts of the character were sort of blocked in. Disable this. No time for autosave. So one thing that the hands are too large, so we'll just scale them down, plain and easy. Oops. So if you're trying to scale something and it does this, make sure local symmetry is on. A little bit, modifying the gesture a bit. So another thing is like right now if I look at it, it looks literally like a Lego hand. But if I take it, rotate it a little, and then we have one finger here, one finger there. I don't know why I'm using this instead of, oh, I know why, because it's too dense. Now we have a nicer gesture. And if you just relax your hand and let it hang, it'll be like all your fingers are going to be bent slightly differently, because that's how fingers work. Alrighty, we're 2 minutes 25 seconds, and we're gonna call it done for tonight. So here we go. Here we have it. A little demon from hell. I might continue with this next stream because this was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for watching. Oh, why am I looking there? I should be looking here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the company, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. And then every time there's like 2 minutes trying to figure out how to stop the stream.